Greetings, programs, and welcome to ArcNeo Reviews, where, once again, I am taking a look at one of those figures I did not think I would get to actually look at. So, really quick, before I get into this, I do want to say thanks, because as small as my channel is, I have already had some really awesome people help me get a hold of figures that I've been wanting for a very long time. I appreciate the heck out of you guys. You know who you are, so thank you. If any of you want, I will put, links or stuff to any projects you guys have. I just don't know who wants their name out there and who doesn't. So, I'm keeping it generic. If anyone wants me to be specific, I will put you in the comments. However, Tim and Jorge, I've already said your names before, so I'm saying you again. Deal with it. So, anyway, we're going to actually look at the figure now. This is War for Cybertron Deluxe Class Soundwave. So, yes, this is actually the little deluxe version of that big, insane Voyager figure I looked at a little while ago. And, yes, he is really, really reflecting on the camera. One second, I need to check something. Okay, that's what I thought. Yeah, for anyone who has seen my videos when things get really, really shiny and glary, my camera likes to fog up right in the middle of recording. So, if you see any big, weird, streaks and, lens flares, it starts looking like one of those reboot, Star Trek movies. That's why my camera likes to fog for no reason. But anyway, yeah, as you can see here, you have his weird little armored tank, armored vehicle mode. And I'm not gonna lie, I actually prefer this over the Voyager. I do have my Voyager packed away right now, so I wasn't able to get it out, but I'll put a link in the description if you want to watch that video. Just know that this one is like infinitely smaller than that version. So, really quick, because I know I'm terrible about remembering to do these, for a few size comparisons, here is Starscream and Skywarp from the same line. So you can kind of see how they, how they stack up to each other and everything. And here he is with Megatron and Shockwave. So, Soundwave definitely ends up being one of the smaller figures in this line, which is kind of funny, seeing as he's also the only one who got a Voyager of the Decepticons. At least he's the only one that I know of that got a Voyager. And me being me, I love the way the Voyager scales with the other Deluxes, because my headcanon, especially this version of Soundwave, is like just the giant walking arsenal. It's not that he's so much the brute, it's just the fact that he carries so many guys in him that, yeah, he walks in and then pops out all his million deployers and just stands there and watches and probably records it to show Megatron back home. But anyway, gonna get down to transformation. First thing to know is he does have really good weapon storage, where he actually stores both of his weapons up front, where the Voyager had his deployer launcher. So on this guy, it's actually the weapon storage. So go ahead, pop them out. And obviously, if you want, you can peg the weapons into these two ports back here. He comes with his traditional little gun right here. These are, as I can tell, these are molded in clear purple and then painted over in the blue. Same with his little Gatling gun. So get those out of the way and actually get down to transforming the boy himself. So first thing you're going to want to do is come up here and unpeg these two panels on top. They do peg in quite securely. So go ahead, unpeg them, bring them down, grab the wheels and a little side piece here, and rotate them around. They only like to rotate one way, and for the life of me, I have never remembered off the top of my head which way they rotate. So go ahead and do that. And you're going to want to swing this down all the way and peg it in down there. Unpeg the legs from each other. And then the way the feet work is actually pretty cool. There's a little hook right there. So you're going to take the foot, spin it around, and push it forward. And as it pushes forward, it will move off to the side until it clips in. And one thing to note, I've seen, this is spring-loaded, which means when I looked at it, and I'm sure when a lot of other people looked at it, you expect a release to undo that clip. No, you just grab it and pull it back to undo it. There is no release. So you just do that. Go ahead, fold the heel up, because his legs are already massive, or his feet are already massive. He doesn't need the heel spur. So same thing over here. Spin it around, pop it in, and fold up the heel. So next thing you're going to want to do is come right back here and just straighten out the arms, get them out of the way. Then you're going to come back here and on these double hinges, pull back the wheels and fold them up behind his back. So, if anyone who's seen the new Earthrise Optimus Prime, yeah, I'm pretty sure this is where they got the idea for how he handles his wheels. Just stick them on his back. So, go ahead, do that. Get things out of the way as best you can. This is definitely one of those figures of just keep things out of the way until you're done. So, you're going to come back here. I find it's easier to get the arms apart if you twist them back a tiny bit. Then unpeg them right here in the center, which can be a little tricky to get a hold of sometimes. But go ahead, do that, get everything in position. You're going to want to fold these panels up in the back, and then just bring out his hands and twist them into position. And there you have Fall of Cybertron Soundwave. And for a deluxe, this figure is so stinking awesome. One thing to note, unfortunately, his head is only on a swivel, and he does tend to look down, which is why I've got him in kind of this weird pose. It's because you have to lean him back a little bit to actually get him to look forward, especially with my camera setup. It's not as bad in real life, but especially on camera, it's bad. So just keep that in mind. Go ahead and arm him up here. Give him his weird gun. Then there's a peg right there on his shoulder. Go ahead, put his Gatling gun in right there. If I can actually keep a hold of it. And you've got Soundwave all geared up. And while I collect Soundwave, so I do have a good number of Soundwave figures, this guy is easily one of my favorites. So, really quick, get a few size comparisons out of the way again. Here he is alongside Shockwave. So, Soundwave definitely becomes bigger than Shockwave once they get to robot mode. In rather impressive ways, actually. He just outsizes this guy in, like, every way now. Here he is alongside Megatron, who is appropriately gigantic compared to any of these other guys. And here he is next to Starscream. And they're pretty evenly sized. Also, yeah, shout out to Starscream's light piping there. Definitely going to be looking at this guy fairly soon. Yeah, so let's get into posability. Like I mentioned, this guy does only have left and right, swivel on his head, so Unfortunately, nothing more than that. Arm is on a ball, shoulders on a ball joint, so you get quite a full range of rotation if the wheel isn't in the way. And you get a little bit of in and out there, but then you get a second joint down here that takes care of the rest of the outward movement. You do have a bicep swivel right there. You've got really, really good elbow joint, though it can look a little weird if you move it really extreme. Hand can tilt up and down, as well as he does have wrist rotation, which is very rare on a figure this size and this age. No waist articulation, unfortunately, but legs can kick forward all the way, back, basically all the way until the kibble from his front wheels gets in the way. Thigh rotation, little bit over 90-degree bend at the knee, and then the foot is on a ball joint, so you get a bit of tilt, rotation, forward and back. And another thing worth pointing out, this figure is one of the accursed denied piping figures, where he is fully light piped for purple eyes, and then they just painted it red. So, bummer, though I understand why they did, because it's Soundwave. He does need red eyes, though at that point, why didn't you just put in red light piping instead? I don't know, maybe there was some weird thing going on where clear red plastic was in a shortage. It wouldn't be the weirdest thing I've heard. But either way, this figure is freaking absolutely fantastic. Definitely one of the highlights of my collection, and an absolute, I don't care if you collect figures or not, find this thing and put it on your shelf. That's an order.